It's Soba Noodle Sushi. So the idea was, and I love making traditional sushi rice, but this idea was to take something else that is in that family of carbohydrate, but we take soba noodles instead, which is buckwheat noodles, in the rhubarb family, by the way. So if you actually, if you have a wheat allergy, you can actually eat soba noodles. I love the earthiness that soba noodle has. It's a very deep flavor. Like what they say in wine, there's the terroir. It really does taste like the earth. It's a very, it grows in harsh environments, so it becomes a strong flavor. And what we do is we take blanch soba. I don't think I'm getting raw here. So we actually blanch them, and they get a little sticky. And the reason we do that is like when you have sushi rice, you want the rice to stick a little bit. So we cook them till you can't really see it. It's like a pinpoint of rawness. But we actually don't rinse it so they don't rinse off all the stuff. We actually keep a little bit honest. I want this to stick to itself. Do it here. We're going to mix with it all the wonderful flavors that in classic Japanese cuisine you have when you eat sushi, which is gari, which is simple ginger, right? It's usually colored with umeboshi, the Japanese plum. We're going to have a little just fresh ginger, which is probably more of my Chinese roots, so the Japanese certainly use fresh ginger. A little bit of scallions. That was one of the first things I did when I was training in Japan was slice scallions. Which sounds like a big deal, and this is cilantro. But when the Japanese slice scallions, and they're really, the way they go is incredibly fast. But what they do is so interesting. They rinse the scallions 3 times. So they'll have it in running water, which is not very eco-friendly, but they literally have a big colander and have water running through it. And they almost rinse all the onion flavor away. It still tastes like scallion, but you can actually eat, and you see quite often in Nigeria there's a big pile, and you're wondering how come you eat that and not that oniony. It's because they actually rinse away that strong part. They keep the texture, the color, but it's not so strong. We're going to add a little bit of naturally brewed soy sauce, which is important. And I think everyone here probably appreciates soy sauce. Just make sure, it doesn't matter what brand you buy, this has to be Wanjiashan from Taiwan, from Taipei. It's an organic soy sauce, which I love. But the most important thing about soy sauce is it has to say naturally brewed on the label. Kikuman's naturally brewed, and I'm not going to trash the companies out there, LaTroy, but there's some that are really bad. I'm glad you're listening. Yeah, because there's caramel coloring and soy flavoring. It's so soy flavoring and soy sauce. It's soybean salt water. That should, and then the bacteria. That's just read all the ingredients. It says caramel coloring here in trouble. We're going to add a little bit, just like in traditional sushi, rice you have vinegar. So we're going to add some acid to balance off the soy. And then we do something called wasabi oil. We take wasabi powder, take room temperature water, make a paste, and then we actually emulsify it with canola oil. And what that does is, and we've all had it, right? You eat sushi, you take a big thing of wasabi, you blow your nose off. I like that buzz. I don't get very many buzzes like that anymore. That's a good one. But normal blue juice or clients don't necessarily want that buzz. But I love the flavor of wasabi. So instead of having just the powder, we emulsify it with oil. And here you can get the great flavor of wasabi and not have that, where's my nose feeling. Alright, so this you mix all together. If there's anything you should take away from here, is I don't care who you are, who you're cooking. Doesn't matter if you're a chef or a cook or a home cook. And Janet, I don't believe you. I believe you probably can't cook. You're saying, oh, I can cook.
You can ask.
Ask your hubby?
Yeah, it's that.
Really?
Yes.
But you're Asian.
I know. I know. My husband actually said to Joanne Chang, he said to me, she has long legs, she runs, she can do math, and she cooks. What happened?
I know, good. So what I was making is taste your food. Taste as you go. I've made this 1,000 times, right? But I haven't made it today in front of you guys. It's all about seasoning. Is there enough soy? Is there enough wasabi? This happens to be perfect. That's just like, sure. And this is what happens to it after it rests about a half an hour. It gets even stickier, which is what you want, because you want to have that stickiness so you can then roll some sushi, which I'm going to do for you now. So this $1 bamboo mat is the hardest thing to emulate. I've gone to demos before, I've traveled to places, I forgot my sushi mat. I'm like, oh, no. So I go, I've done everything. I've done tin foil with plastic wrap around it, it doesn't work. I did once tying chopsticks together. What are you doing? Like, Soba Noodle salad. Because you can't, it's so hard to emulate this. Just don't forget, buy extras. Everyone knows what nori is. You know the history of nori? No. So nori, back in Japan, 1500s, fishermen in Japan used to fish with stakes and nets. They would put the stakes in the water, shallow, not the deep sea fishing ones, shallow water fishing. Stakes with the nets in the water. They would take the stakes, they let them dry in the sun, and then they do the same thing the next day. Well, one day someone decided, hey, just took a piece of the seaweed that was dried on the steak, and then started eating it. Like, oh, it's moishi. Like, it's pretty good. That's how nori was great. That's the question. Then subsequently someone took it and actually fire roasted it, and you get yaki nori. Yaki meaning to cook or to grow. So that's the history of nori. And nori makes a difference. There's incredible. I was at a wonderful restaurant in Tokyo, and if you really follow Iron Chef, his name is Iron Chef Michiro. He's the first Japanese guy. He's the one. He was Morimoto's mentor. So this is going back. This is before I was even on the Food Network. And he literally, when he's doing some sushi, he's like, Ming Tsai. And I don't speak enough Japanese, but I know terms. And he pulls out this beautiful bamboo box. It's like engraving, opens it like it's like it's contraband, right? Let's try this. It was nori from Tokyo Harbor. I'm thinking, all these boats. Tokyo Harbor. It was very rare. Yeah, sure, it's very rare. But it tasted so good. I mean, you're like, I never realized nori, because you don't really think about like spring roll wrapper or whatever, right? No, it tasted so amazing. This is not, sorry. I mean, I have like 4 sheets left, and the good thing about nori, if it's stored properly, it really never goes bad, right? It's dry. So to roll it, you have a shiny side, right, and a rough side. So again, Japanese food is about being beautiful and pristine. So you put the shiny side down because you want that to be on the outside. So then, it's pretty much classic sushi rolling technique, which is you fill about the bottom half. And obviously, normally we would be using our hands with gloves. I'll try it.
We're friends.
Yeah, friends. Good. Glad to know. Alright, you fill it like that. We're going to fill it with this is just some cucumbers and bell peppers. You can fill it with anything. You obviously can take some beautiful fish, hamachi, maguro, anything, put it in as well. But here, this is served, this is my starch veg with the signature dish here, which is a miso sake marinated butterfish, which I love. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now, water. In Japan, they usually take a little drop of vinegar and put in the water in case there's any off flavor in the water. Of course, in Wellesley, the water. Actually, the water is horrible in Wellesley. It really is. So, I'll go as slow as gravity will allow me. The idea of rolling sushi is you want what you're rolling to be centered. So the only way that can ever possibly happen, and I'll go as slow as I can, is at this point I have to touch the top noodles to the bottom noodles. So if those noodles touch, then this thing is centered. So you see that? So now those touch, okay?